The world you thought you knew is already gone. Hawkins is no longer just a small town hiding dark secrets. It has become the center of everything. The sky is broken, the ground is split open, and the line between life and death has disappeared. This is not just another battle. This is the end of the story that started years ago in a quiet basement with a group of kids who never imagined the cost of friendship would be this high. Hawkins no longer feels like home. The streets are cracked, the air feels heavy, and fear lives in every corner. People walk fast, avoiding eye contact, pretending everything is normal even when it clearly isn't. The town that once survived strange lights and missing kids is now facing something far worse. The upside down has broken through, and it refuses to hide anymore. Dark clouds hang over the town day and night, and the ground itself feels alive, like it's breathing. In the middle of all this chaos, the people of Hawkins are trying to survive. While pretending nothing is wrong, schools are half empty, stores close early, families whisper instead of talking. Everyone feels watched, even inside their own homes. There is no safe place anymore. The nightmare has become real, and no one can wake up from it. At the center of this broken world stands a group of young people who have already lost too much. They've grown older, but the fear has grown with them. The innocence they once had is gone, replaced by pain, guilt, and memories they can't escape. Every step they take reminds them of what they've lost and what they might still lose. The past is no longer behind them, it is chasing them. Hawkins itself feels like a living wound. Cracks in the ground glow faintly at night, pulsing like a heartbeat. The air feels cold even in daylight. Strange sounds echo through empty streets, and no one knows where they come from. People whisper about the upside down spreading, about time breaking, about something watching them from the dark. Fear has become part of daily life, but the worst part is not the monsters or the destruction. It's the silence that comes before something terrible happens. The silence that reminds everyone that the final fight is coming, whether they are ready or not. Because this time, the enemy isn't hiding in the shadows anymore. This time, the darkness is standing right in front of them, waiting, and deep down, everyone knows the truth. This is the beginning of the end. The world no longer feels stable, and the people who once believed they could fix everything now understand how fragile reality truly is. After everything that happened, the group is no longer driven by hope alone. They are driven by fear, guilt, and the growing realization that they may not survive what comes next. Each of them carries invisible scars, and those scars are beginning to shape the choices they make. The battle ahead is not just against a monster, but against everything they have lost along the way. 11 feels this weight more than anyone. Her powers are still there, but they don't come as easily as before. Every time she tries to reach deeper, it feels like something is pulling back, as if the upside down itself is resisting her. She remembers every scream, every face she couldn't save, every moment she was too late. The pressure to fix everything is crushing, and the fear of failing again eats at her in silence. She knows the others look to her for strength, but inside, she feels more human than ever before, scared, uncertain, and tired. Mike watches her closely, unsure how to help. He wants to be strong for her, but he feels small in a world filled with monsters and impossible choices. His love for her has never been clearer, yet that love comes with fear. Fear that he will lose her, fear that he already has. Their bond is no longer innocent or simple. It is tested by distance, secrets, and the weight of what is coming. Every look they share carries words they're too afraid to say out loud. Meanwhile, Dustin tries to keep the group together, using humor as a shield against despair. He jokes, he plans, he talks too much, anything to stop the silence from closing in. But even he feels the pressure. He understands now that this fight may not end with everyone walking away. The losses from the past have changed him, and beneath his optimism is a growing fear that the final cost will be more than he can handle. Lucas stands quieter than before, shaped by grief and hard choices. What happened to Max still haunts him, Every empty room reminds him of her absence, and every quiet moment feels too loud. He carries anger, sadness, and guilt all at once. And sure of where to place them, the idea of facing the darkness again terrifies him, but he knows he must. Walking away is no longer an option. As for Will, something inside him has never truly returned to normal. The connection he once had to the upside down feels closer now, stronger than ever. He senses things before they happen. He feels the darkness moving, watching, waiting. Sometimes he wonders if the enemy sees the world through his eyes. The thought scares him. But it also tells him something important. The end is near. Together, they stand at the edge of everything they've fought for. The world expects heroes, but they are just kids who grew up too fast. They don't know how this will end, only that they must face it together, because if they don't, there will be nothing left to save. The night grows heavier as the truth begins to settle in. What they are facing is not just another monster, not another fight they can win with courage and luck. This time, the danger feels smarter, older, and far more personal. Every step forward feels like walking deeper into something that has been waiting for them since the very beginning. The world around them feels thinner, as if reality itself could tear open at any moment, and in that quiet tension, they begin to understand that this battle will demand more than strength. It will demand sacrifice. The closer they get to the heart of the darkness, the more memories begin to surface. Moments from their childhood come rushing back, bike rides through empty streets, late-night laughter, promises made without understanding how heavy they would one day become. Those memories now feel fragile, like something that could disappear at any moment. Each of them realizes that the past is no longer a safe place to return to. The innocence they once carried has been stripped away, replaced by the weight of responsibility and fear. 11 feels the pull stronger than ever. The connection she shares with the darkness has grown deeper, almost alive. Sometimes she can't tell where her thoughts end and where the presence begins. It whispers to her, not with words, but with feelings: regret, anger, loneliness. It knows her pain because it was born from it, and that truth terrifies her more than any monster ever could. She starts to wonder if the reason she can fight it is because part of her belongs to it. That thought follows her everywhere, making every decision heavier than the last. Meanwhile, the rest of the group struggles with their own breaking points. Tension rises as fear turns into frustration. Arguments start over small things, but beneath them lies a deeper fear of losing one another. Trust is tested in moments of panic. Doubt creeps in quietly, asking questions no one wants to answer. What if they fail? What if this time there is no coming back? What if saving the world means losing themselves? The town continues to decay around them. Buildings crack. Lights flicker without reason. People disappear without explanation. The line between the real world and the other side grows thinner each day. It feels like the entire place is being slowly pulled into something dark and endless. Every sign points to one unavoidable truth: whatever is coming cannot be stopped easily. It has been waiting, growing stronger with every fear, every scream, every moment of pain. As the pressure builds, the group realizes they can no longer run from what's ahead. There are no safe places left, no hidden corners to hide in. The final confrontation is coming, whether they are ready or not. And deep down, each of them knows that when the moment arrives, everything will change forever. Some will rise, some will fall. And the world they know may never exist again. The world begins to feel smaller as the final moments draw closer. Every street, every building, every shadow seems to carry a memory of what has already been lost. The air itself feels heavy, as if it knows what is coming and is bracing for impact. Nothing feels normal anymore. Time moves strangely, stretching and shrinking without warning, as if reality is slowly unraveling. The people who remain in Hawkins move like ghosts, caught between hope and fear, unsure if tomorrow will even exist. The group starts to realize that the enemy they face is not just something they can fight with strength or courage. It feeds on emotion, on fear, on regret. Every painful memory becomes fuel. Every moment of doubt gives it power. The more they try to resist, the stronger it seems to grow. This realization changes everything. It means that anger, fear, and grief are no longer just feelings, they are weapons being used against them. 11 feels this truth more deeply than anyone else. She begins to understand that the connection between her and the darkness is not a coincidence. It was shaped over years of pain, experiments, and loneliness, the same force that gave her strength also left scars that never healed. Now those scars are being pulled open again. She feels the darkness calling her, tempting her with an end to the pain if she would only stop fighting it. The choice before her becomes terrifyingly clear. Resist and suffer, or surrender and lose herself completely around her. The others struggle in their own ways. Mike tries to hold on to hope, even as doubt eats away at him. He wants to believe love can still save them, but the fear of losing everyone he cares about makes his resolve shake. Destin fights to keep everyone focused, masking his fear with jokes and plans that may never work. Lucas carries a quiet rage, fueled by loss and regret, and wonders if anger might be the only thing strong enough to fight what's coming. Will, meanwhile, feels the pull of the darkness more strongly than anyone else. He senses its thoughts, its hunger, and its patience. It knows him. It has always known him. As tensions rise, cracks begin to form within the group. Small disagreements turn into painful arguments. Trust becomes fragile. Everyone is afraid of making the wrong choice because this time there will be no second chances. The weight of what they are facing pushes them to their limits, forcing them to confront parts of themselves they have long tried to ignore. Fear, guilt, love, and loyalty collide in ways they never expected. The world outside continues to decay. The sky darkens for days at a time. Strange sounds echo through empty streets. The boundary between realities grows thinner with every passing hour. It becomes clear that the final confrontation will not be a single battle, but a breaking point, a moment where everything changes forever. And as the darkness closes in, each of them must decide what they are willing to lose to stop it. Because when the end finally comes, nothing and no one will be the same again. The final hours arrive quietly, almost gently, as if the world itself is holding its breath. There is no warning siren, no sudden explosion, only a heavy stillness that settles over everything. The sky dims to an unnatural shade, the air thick and unmoving. It feels as if time itself has slowed, giving the world one last moment to exist before it changes forever. Every step taken now carries meaning. Every word spoken feels permanent. The group gathers one last time, not as heroes, but as people who have survived too much to pretend they are unafraid. Their faces show exhaustion, fear, and something deeper, acceptance. They understand now that this is the end of the road they started walking years ago. There will be no turning back, no second chances, and no guarantee that everyone will make it out alive. The silence between them is filled with everything they never said and everything they wish they could still say. 11 stands at the center, feeling the weight of every choice she has ever made. The power inside her feels unstable, almost alive, responding to the growing chaos around her. She realizes that the connection she shares with the darkness cannot be broken, it can only be faced. For the first time, she stops trying to run from it. She accepts that what she fears most is also what gives her the strength to end this. The cost of that choice is terrifying. But she knows there is no other path left. Around her, the others prepare in their own ways. Some hold onto memories to stay grounded. Others focus on the present, refusing to think about what comes after. Love, regret, fear, and courage collide in moments that feel painfully human. There are no speeches, no dramatic promises, only quiet understanding. Each of them knows what they are risking, and each chooses to move forward anyway. As the final confrontation begins, reality itself starts to break apart. The ground trembles. The sky fractures with light and shadow. The line between worlds disappears completely. It becomes clear that this battle is not just about survival, but about choice about deciding what kind of future should exist and who will be there to see it. Every sacrifice made leads to this single moment. In the end, the outcome is not defined by victory or defeat, but by what is left behind. Some bonds will never be broken. Others will end in silence. The world that remains will carry the marks of everything that happened, shaped forever by the courage and pain of those who stood against the darkness. And as the dust settles, one truth becomes clear. Even when the story ends, its echo will never truly fade. The aftermath settles slowly, not with celebration, but with quiet understanding. The world that remains is unfamiliar, shaped by loss and sacrifice, yet still breathing. The sky no longer burns with darkness, but it also does not return to what it once was. It feels older, heavier, as if it remembers everything that happened. People walk through the streets with cautious steps, unsure whether peace is real or just a pause before something else begins. The silence that follows the storm is not comforting, it is reflective. Those who survived carry the weight of everything that was lost. Some scars are visible, others buried deep where no one can see them. The battles may be over, but the memories linger in small moments, empty rooms, broken places. Familiar faces missing from the crowd, grief settles quietly into daily life, not loud or dramatic, but constant. It becomes something they learn to live with rather than overcome. For those who remain, the hardest part is learning how to exist in a world without constant fear. They spend so long fighting that peace feels unnatural. Every sound makes them pause, every shadow draws their attention. Healing does not come easily, and it does not come quickly. It arrives in fragments, shared glances, quiet conversations, and moments of understanding that require no words. The bond between them has changed. It is no longer built on survival alone, but on remembrance. They remember the sacrifices made, the courage shown, and the people who gave everything so others could live. Those memories become a kind of promise that what was lost will not be forgotten, and what was learned will not be wasted. Even in grief, there is purpose. The world itself begins to recover in small ways. Nature slowly reclaims what was broken. Light returns to places that once felt hollow. Life continues not because everything is fixed, but because it must. The scars remain, but they become part of the story rather than its ending. There is strength in that realization, a quiet understanding that survival is not the same as victory, but it still matters. As time moves forward, the past becomes something they carry rather than something that controls them. The fear that once ruled their lives fades into memory, replaced by cautious hope. They may never fully understand what they stopped or what they saved, but they know one thing with certainty. They faced the darkness together and did not turn away. And in that choice, they found something stronger than fear, something that will remain long after the echoes of the final battle fade away.